So, hello Capricorn, how you doing? I'm here with y'all January 2025 reading. So I'm going to do a monthly reading and I'm going to pull the energy. I got a lot of things already set up. I'm sitting in front of my astrology cards, breathing in the energy. And I did go online and I'm working from the houses positions. I know where the planets will be at too in each one of the houses. So this is how it's going to go, Capricorn, right? I'm going to pull some oracle. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards first, right? And then I'm going to pull some tarot cards. And we're going to get into it for the houses, all right? January 2025. Capricorn. January monthly astrology reading. General astrology reading. May I have one oracle card prepared for the ascendant and the descendant connection? May I have one oracle card prepared for the midhaven and the IC? And may I receive them one at a time? For Capricorn. January monthly astrology reading. One oracle card for the ascendant and the descendant. All right, thank you. All right, may I have one oracle card? Thank you. Now, the shadow card for these oracles in the astrology world, what do we have? We have a animal bond. What does it say? Stand up for all animals. And this is how the card is looking. You see that? Okay. So it looks like Capricorn, you are a animal logo, right? You're part of the animal logos and design anyway. So with you being part of the animal logos or design, you probably got to do something. It might be in the month of January, might be more of a focus of family, friends, your household, your job. It might be all about security for the month of January for you, okay? That might be the main thesis in this, okay? Overall, it's going to be security. Whatever energy manifests with inside of it is either to support a security system, to bring in a new security system, whether there's a grandchild or somebody might be pregnant and about to have a baby soon. All of these things are foundation factors into securing the whole situation. It needs some tight knit, some close knit that's going on up in here. So when it comes to the ascendant and the descendant, it says intuition. Now this is great because the first house is going to be in Taurus, all right? On January the 1st of 2025. The first house is going to be in Taurus. So with the first house being in Taurus, Taurus is all about I have, and the first house is all about the body, the autonomy. So this is going to go, I think this is going to bring in for you Capricorn on intuition. Whatever comes up or maybe the way you end your year, for example, say that you might, if you're, no matter what, say you into doing a lot of makeup, whether you do TikTok makeup videos or whatever it might be. Say makeup is the theme of it, right? So you know you have all of this product. And another thing that's being used is the body. So being that also Jupiter, Uranus, and the Fruitone are going to be in the Fruitone is going to be in Gemini. Jupiter is also in Gemini, right? And Uranus is the one in Taurus. So kind of look at this Like, Gemini usually comes after Taurus, right? So Jupiter is in Taurus, but the first house, Taurus, is ruling it, and only the one planet is Uranus, so it's a genius. So you got to make sure the way your year is ending, there's a nice brew pack. You need to unpack those things that's up inside of there for sure. Okay. Now, and I'm saying that because of the fact Jupiter is in retrograde, but it's retrograde in Gemini, so it's past Taurus, but it could go back to Taurus, but Taurus is in retrograde with Uranus, okay? And then the Futona are going to be there. So with the Futona coming in, and it's more in the Gemini in energy, so you're talking about twin luck. Now, on the twin luck of it with the intuition, we have Scorpio. That's on the other side. Everything going to be the polar opposite here, okay? So, we have the 7th house that's up in play here when it comes to Scorpio. So, we have partners. So, once again, like I was trying to say, you need, whether it's your partnership with a social media platform, whether it's a partnership with your job. And I don't mean that you're a live partner. Just being an employee and getting an hourly check or a salary check or whatever it might be still gives you a partnership there. It's just when we're talking about in a different business area of comprehension, right? Like people who go into business together seem more logical to relate to the word partner, but the house position is not going to sit here and say, oh, you're not partners because you work for Home Depot, so you're not a partner of Home Depot. Home Depot would not stay in that position if it weren't for people that's always being available to take that position and get some type of money. So when we're talking about on the intuition, whether your job that you currently at was led off of intuition, maybe it might have been a desire, a dream, or a hope, or whatever it might be. This intuition is going to be one of those things between this 7th house energy of partners in the body. It's going to be very important for the ascendant and the descendant. Okay, so when we also, now we're going to go to the next oracle card that came out was Unicorn. Now this is for the IC in the Midhaven, right? So we have the 4th house, which is going to be with Cancer. Now this 4th house, now Cancer, now there's a trick with this. Now Cancer is also in the 3rd house. So in this chart right now, the 3rd house has Cancer, and it has Cancer in the 3rd house and in the 4th house. So when we're talking about the hitting element that's in the IC is this message. Who's going to be the one that you're going to be willing to listen to? Okay? That's why you have Unicorn here, right? So what Unicorn says, invite serendipity. Okay? Invite it. It's hard to invite serendipity, especially coming from a message house. And depending on how you like clarity and things to be brought to you, it's kind of hard to, how do I say it? If something feel like it's not comfortable to you, or this person don't look comfortable enough for you to listen to them, it's going to be hard to understand what is serendipity at. Now, the fact of the matter, the Midhaven, okay, is the World card. So, the thing is, depending on your introvert and your extrovert side, and all of this right here, going to really make a difference to Capricorn. Okay? Because Capricorn is holding this energy, but not only that, Capricorn is also in the 9th house of faith. So that means, once again, depending on where you at, say that you're a Capricorn who has some, well, we all is on our journey, whether we use tarot, whether we go to church, whether we are in Islamic, whether we is in Tao, whether we in Christianity, whether we in Protestant, whether we just have the Orisha, Sanatoria, it is abundance full of titles to spirituality and religious pathways. It could go from a scientific theory, whether you're into quantum physics and you're trying to design something. You might want to invent a new type of computer for gaming and editing. So now this is the thing that I see in this ascendant is at 19 degrees 46 seconds. So in the 19 degrees, like I said, walking into it, this is a beginning and an end. 19, 1 and 9 by itself is a beginning and an ending. Okay? But it also could mean your logical sense might overpower and create a fight and fear situation because something could be getting dissolved that you don't. There's many ways to do numerology to interpret. So on the flip side, we have a 4 and a 6. Now, we could do a 4 and a 6 from, you can be more of a millennium, okay, Gen Z. And within this millennium Gen Z range, you feel like this age that you're getting at is beginning to make you feel a little bit more older. The world feel more heavier to you and a little bit more than what you want it to be. It might be feeling like too much is going on. You might be feeling too young for situations that's happening and so forth and so on. Now in the IC, we have a 2 and a 4. So this means in the IC in the midhaven, okay, that means you're going to have a point in time whether, say, you're more extrovert when you is participating in your workplace. Whether you even at home and you got to deal with clients every single day, that's most of your extrovert. So that means the pathway of that situation, your separatity is going to come from those people. And with that number 2 there, you could just feel, you could be just feeling like, okay, it's my job. So you won't necessarily understand the energy beyond, depending on how long you've been doing this job. And based on that, there's an energy level that always get consumed by the end of your workday. So that energy level going to always be there, right? And that's where the serendipity might invite itself in without you realizing when it comes to the IC and the midhaven. So then we have 27 seconds up inside of this, right? So then we have a 2 and a 7. So once again, your logical side is definitely coming out. But not only that, you're talking about more downloads. So your dreams could be very unique. You could be more passionate about the way you see in the world. And depending on how sensitive you are to energy, you might be glitching out a little bit in a visionary way. You could come across people based on just being right there, and you daydream out, and some people just appear to you. Could also happen when we're talking about this. Okay? So within an animal barn also, how do you pair animals get along? There's a lot of animals in this world. Some of them look alike. Some of them got different features. Some of them, I'm telling you, I can't tell what their sex is no matter what, because I ain't never really been around them. So they just all look the same to me, like chipmunks and squirrels. They kind of look all the same. But it doesn't mean I won't make somebody upset who want to separate the difference. right? So there we go. So that's kind of like a little bit of the way the year going to begin for you, right? Now let's keep going down. So like I said, Cancer being in this fourth house energy, also Mars going to be retrograde in Cancer right now. So that now influencing energy, let's get some tarot cards, right? Because I'm just going to freestyle these general readings and whatever come up. Because what come up during the time that we're going to do this in, okay? For Capricorn, January 2025, house reading right here. Mars going to be retrograde in the fourth house energy. Yes. In the house of roots. So what that also being that I see and trying to invite serendipity and Mars in retrograde in Cancer. And Cancer is all about I feel. Can I have 3 tarot cards to talk about this? For Capricorn, January 2025. One more card. Well, they gave me 2 more cards, so I got a total of 4. We might run into other stuff. So we are talking about communication. So let's see what type of communication. The first card came out upside down. It's the 6 of Swords. So we're still into air. Then we have the Justice card. We're still into air. We have the 3 of Swords. We still into air. And then we have the 3 of Cups. So let's check this out, right? Now, Lilith is in Libra. Now, Libra zodiac energy. Libra and every zodiac energy as far as the south and the north node in all of this is not quite as prominent because that's about what they are though. Now Lilith is a little bit up in here. I forgot what. Did I write it down? Yeah. Lilith is in Virgo in the 6th house. And the vertex is going to be there too. The moon is in Aquarius. Pluto is in Aquarius. So that's 2 out of the 3 swords. So this is what I'm going to say with these cards right here, right? There's the Mars retrograde part of it when it comes to the Justice card, right? It's like a love and hate relationship. That's why you're going to have... This was on the scale, okay? This is how the scale is looking for you. I'm going to get my fingers right with the cards. On one side of the scale, and it's balanced. They give you balanced cards, okay? So let's consider this. One side of the scale, you have the 3 of Swords. On the other side of the scale, you have the 3 of Cups. Of course, more optional, people always is going to go with the 3 of Cups. But let's look at this right here. Right? If you go with the Three of Swords, could the Three of Swords be something that you need to save your life? Is it going to be more of something that you really need to define into your priority, right? Meaning, yeah, this look real weird. Look at those, like, you're at open heart surgery, but you got the Kundalini that's right there in the middle of the whole sword, right? So there's some truth factors that's going to come in. It also can represent that somebody is going to have a child that's coming from with a historical generational curse for your family lineage. Like I said, I don't know if it's you that may be pregnant. It could even be a close friend to you that might be pregnant. And when this child get to a certain age, could shift your whole relationship. Especially if you might have been on a soulmate journey. You could be somebody who's already married. And you have a real close friend. Right? That's what this could represent. You're already married. And you have a real close friend of yours. Right? And they not related to you nor the person you married to. And y'all been friends for a while, for a few years. But when this child get born, this child gonna break. Everything that's foundational here is going to change. That child could be definitely a generational breaker. So while Mars is in retrograde in the beginning of the year, it can really be preparing all of this to be coming forth later on in the future. And I mean in the future, far as when the child get more closer to like 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old, it will probably begin around that time. When the child, it's definitely going to begin circling around the child's educational background. With this 8 of Wands that's here, right here. And look at there. See? The next shadow card. We have the Empress. And then we have the Death card, the Generation Breaker. So somebody is going to be getting prepared. So a lot of things that's going on, whether here and there is going to be glitches out that somebody feel. Both of y'all probably go through stages of trying to be confused on why each other made different decisions. That's going to be the stars and the signs of the symptoms to it. When you're talking about Taurus in the first house and Scorpio in the 7th house with partnerships, it's going to be something very important that you need to really consider about that. Now, Leo has nothing, but it's in the 5th house. The 6th house is Virgo, and it has the vertexes in Libra and Lilith in Libra. And so, being that Virgo is going to be in his natural house, but it has a roommate. Depending on, a lot of things can happen here, because wherever your Libra is could be in your 6th house. Might be very important for you and very imperative. So you might have to look at that. Also with your friends. And whether you might already have a child and can have a Libra sun as the sun sign for the Libra child. Can be a next little hint when it comes to it. So Scorpio is in the 7th house, and it's just the 7th house chilling. The 8th house is Sagittarius, and Mercury is going to be there. The 9th house is Capricorn, and of course the sun is there because I'm doing your reading, Capricorn. So January the 1st is you. So the sun is in the 10th house, Capricorn, and this is where the alignment of the houses get interesting. The 10th and 11th and the 12th house is zodiac signs. Okay, we have the 10th house, which is going to have Capricorn. Okay, so inside of there, now the moon and Pluto is going to be there, and there's going to be a new moon in Aquarius around this time. So really around this time, you're either going to, depending on the type of Capricorn attitude of within your first house, how your self-esteem level really is, how, and this is all compared to when you sitting back and saying, this is the way I want the world to see me, right? The new moon is going to have you, your spirit, your soul side of you so comfortable with presenting yourself as the way you want to be seen. So say for example, this is how erratic you can be. So say that you got a couple of friends, and when you go around them, you have this one specific attitude. You feel like these people you can only have conversation with. Say you go to work, you have this one specific attitude. Now, this is the thing with it, right? If it's any part of you that feels like somewhere, somebody in the world, in this thing, is not authentic enough or not fake enough, then that's going to put you in an erratic mood in the first couple of weeks in January. You're going to be very erratic at work and with your friends, your family, your loved ones, because you're questioning an authentic side of something that you're not authentic about, and you're not giving that person the same authenticity as you feel you are authentic about. Meaning, this person could be weird to you because that's the way they want the world to perceive them. And inside of yourself, you know how you feel towards the world. But if you're going to say, oh, you fake, because they and you, both of y'all in the same energy of being able to be willing to be seen this way to the world. That's what makes you feel good when you come outside and communion among, whether you're going grocery shopping, going to the movies, going to the bar, going to a vape club, or whatever you're doing, going to a concert. Whatever it is. Everybody came with that. So all the rudeness and everything, you kind of going to contaminate yourself with that new moon energy being in the 10th house with Pluto. Now, Pluto can take advantage of that, because like I said, when it comes to somebody very much a Capricorn sun who's going to have this dilemma in a friendship, that child that's going to come about and be that generational curse breaker between y'all. And it don't mean necessarily y'all going to fall apart. It's part of one of the pathways. It's another one where y'all are together. It's more of y'all having different ways of staying together than it's more of ways that y'all fall apart. So I don't know which ones y'all going to choose. But anyway, Pluto will use this new moon to be a great distraction in the 10th house, okay? Being that it's in Aquarius and at the lowest degree possible. Now, in 11th house, we have Aquarius, which has Venus and it has Saturn. So that could be the Three of Swords too, because that means that's the moon, Pluto, and Venus all in Aquarius, okay? So you got Saturn that's in Pisces at this time. That's going to be in 11th house. All right. So, yeah. And so since the 11th house and all of this, I know, right? At this present time, I know, right? The love making or the passionate intimacy, let's see, the intimacy that people could experience without it being physical is going to be very heightened around. So I don't know how you might respond. Like, that could still be a factor of you saying, I'm sensitive to energy. It could be a factor of your attitude of how you might appreciate art in the world. whether that art is just looking at the multi-cultures, you can have a culture fetish that goes on. Whether it's the constructs of the togetherness with buildings, like malls, and how malls is constructed nearby housing communities and nightclubs and gas stations, just the construction factor. The arts of it all, the design of it is going to be very mesmerizing for you with that Venus and Saturn that's going to be there, right? Now, Pisces is in the 12th house, and it has Chiron, the North Node, which is going to still be in Aries, and Neptune. Okay? So when we're talking about the house of escape, okay, let's go ahead and get a few cards real quick before we wrap this up. Before we wrap this card up. Yeah. So can I have 2 cards for the 12th house message? I have 2 cards for the 12th house for Capricorn, January monthly. Okay, they gave me 3 cards, and we're going to see the shadow card together. What is that? The Nine of Wands. Oh, so either this is saying your 12th house is going to be the house of mystery, but it's boundaries that's there. And there's going to be things that get released over a period of time. So even though you right here and you see it, you're guarding these things, but you're guarding them based on your wisdom. The wisdom that you have, because the first house is all about that intuition. So based on the wisdom that you have up inside of here might be determining that. Okay? So we have the Ace of Wands, right? We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah. So this is going to be something about how you mature, how your wisdom interacts with it. That's where Chiron in them is going to be maybe your go-to, depending on how you are into your spirituality. Look for your Chiron placement. Pay attention to Neptune while it's going direct. Because you're probably going to feel maybe more of the retrograde, even though it's direct. And when it goes retrograde, you might be starting to go direct yourself. Okay? So that might be some things to consider in all of this too. Alright, so now, when we're going to the end of the month, there's some changes going on in the houses at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, the first house is going to be in Gemini, the ascendant. Cancer then going to move to the second house. So now we talking about Cancer into the second house with owning. So by the end of the month with Cancer, right? Everything going to be downloaded and completed. Your ideas, whether you got new bright ideas, which could be some of the erraticnism that come back around. It probably chill out a little bit in the middle of January, like probably through the 13th and 20th, and then by the time you're going into the end of January to February, getting more close to like all that time to Valentine's Day and all that kind of stuff right there, you might get a little bit more erratic. Things might seem a little bit more personal. Whether it become personal to the point that, you know, for you being in a relationship that you feel like you might have to be more of a protector, especially with the 9 of Wands being in the 12th house in the beginning of it. So these are these boundaries, and just like I started off with this video, things is about security. So with Cancer going there and Mars going to be retrograde there at that period of time too, and the Futona is going to be there. So now Mars is doing a retrograde. So when we talking about that 3 of Cups and that 3 of Swords, let's see how Mars might be changing some of this, okay? Now, what would be the change with Mars in the 2nd house? Let's see, what Mars going to change in the 2nd house for Capricorn with this retrograde in Cancer? Alright, I got 2 cards. Oh, they got an Empress. So maybe somebody probably got pregnant around that time. We had a 5 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, right? So probably during this time might be around the conception period. Probably the child probably might be getting conceived during this time between January to February. Within 12 days, maybe with 5, 7, and 12. Well, it could be 15 with the 3 with the Empress. But it can be the conception period during this time right here. It's definitely a seal of a deal. Okay. So the 3rd house and the 4th house is going to be in Leo this time. All right. The 5th house is Virgo. Scorpio is the 6th house. Sagittarius is the 7th house. Capricorn is the 8th house. Aquarius is now in the 9th and the 10th house. Pisces is in the 11th house. And Taurus is now in the 12th house. So in the 12th house, the last session, we had Jupiter, Chiron in the North Node. This time we got Jupiter, Uranus, and Gemini. We got Jupiter and Gemini and Uranus. So the 1st house then dropped to the 12th house. So whatever was going on in the beginning can also give you the type of feeling by the end of the month, even though it's the conception period, right? That you didn't forget. Well, you have the ability to process things in a way to move forward. Whatever way you're going to do it, you're going to move forward in it. It's just whether you felt satisfied in some of the endings that's going to come about in January. Whether you felt like you got your point off, your satisfaction level to expressing yourself is going to be very important by the end of the month to determine how much you have harbored with the energy. Now, Pluto is in the 9th house, the house of faith. And the Sun is in the 9th house. Then the ascendant and the descendant at this time will be at 25 degrees, 20 seconds. The IC in the midheaven going to be at 23 degrees, 36 seconds. And the new moon is in Aquarius. So me personally, I would capitalize off the full moon in January. and get yourself prepared the best way you can, at least emotionally, mentally. Everything that you do is not just about everything outside of you. It's also about you, your reincarnative process, how karma works, the energetic vibration of karma on the of in the past, the present, and the future. That fluctuation of it is going to be very imperative for you. I mean, for all of us, it's always a constant circle of life when it comes to it. So all I could say, Capricorn, for some of y'all, you're going to have some generational curse breakers that come upon inside y'all realm. Some of them going to be fertilized, natural child that's come about. Everything that we do in this world comes with a reason and a purpose. Our comprehension to develop and live through life as long as the clock allows us to be permitted to be is always imperative too. So Capricorn, January gonna come in depending on what are you the type of person that's participating in New Year's resolutions? What is your agenda? What is your goal? Are you a homemaker? Do you go outside the home? Are you a social media geeky? All of those things is going to be determining factors of the energy that comes upon. And help out. Friendship going to mean a whole lot. Communication going to have to change a whole lot through the month. Just try to make sure that you paying close attention to how you judging everything, because it's going to be very important the way that everything line up. Now, also at this present time, please don't consider your own personal natal chart for more alchemy and more detailed information. This is only a general energy reading to help prepare you, but all your makeup of who you are really counts for all of it. So I hope you enjoyed your January meeting. Thank you.